gentlemen, our guest of honor, the Kilo, is coming in. I'll kindly ask that you stand up and honor him as you come in, as he comes in. We'll then follow the program as it is the role of the Ladies and gentlemen, the Kilo of Chief Charles in the house. I'll kindly ask that you stay standing as the Uganda anthem and the Uganda national anthem are played.
Let's stand ourselves. Almighty Father, thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for gathering us together here for this event as we launch this book. Father, we pray that you come in our midst and watch over us and bless us in our different capacities. Father, we pray that this book plays its role in enhancing and improving the quality of services of lawyers and ease the practice of all practitioners. Father, we commit the hands of our brother Mukiibi Center, who has put together time and resources. Bless him and continue using him to serve your people. We pray all this in the almighty name of Jesus Christ our Lord.
Can we ask that we all take our seats? And could we welcome the Katikiro with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Another round of applause for the gentleman who has just done the prayer, so we already know we're going to tell her. Come on, Katikiro. I'd like to welcome you. My name is MukiibiCMS. I'll be your host tonight, and my duty is very simple. We're here to launch the book, Counsel Cornelius Mukiibi, and my duty will be very simple, just to introduce the guest speakers, and we'll be done in a flash. I kindly ask Michael Happy Chitanda to come and blow the evening away with the trumpet as we begin. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy Michael Chitanda. Round of applause for happy Michael Chipanda and the gentleman on the guitar. Michael, don't switch that. Thank you very much. The gentleman of the guitar is called Mugande. Thank you so much for Uganda. That's what I wanted to.
Point of correction, Michael Chikanda Motowa,
Happy Chitanda, sorry. Yes.
Happy Chazi,
Happy Chazi.
Emmanuel.
Kyabisabise webalibali. Kirungi ye yagamba respects mazokutaga nti amusinga. Come on, Gatikiro. Allow me introduce a few names here of the guests that we have, and I'll keep naming them as the list comes in. We have Dr. Olive Sabiti, the Dean, Cavendish University. Mr. Diancy William, the Deputy DPP who led the prayers. I'll not introduce Wachitiba Mpanga for reasons. Mr. Nicholas Echimo, President Uganda Catholic Lawyers. Mr. Teresa Mano, Rwanda, IU, International University of East Africa. Mr. Chazio Fred, Council Tenza. We have Honorable Sanjay Tena, Chairman Board, Clever Mines. Honorable Sanjay Tena is here. Nabale the witness, the acting dean, Kumba University Law School. Ivan Ojakol, Matrix Advocates, and also International University of East Africa. Council Nelson Nerima, Namba Nerima Company Advocates. Council Muhammad Ali Kajuri. Our worship Irene Nambatia. Council Ivan Chibungi. Associate Professor Francis Puente, thank you so much for being here. Mr. Bosa Suleiman, Kumba University, and Mr. Francis Siringi of PSFU is also here. I also introduce the other guests as they come in. Come on, Gatikiro. My humble duty now is to welcome Associate Professor Francis Puente to give a welcome speech. He will also, in the same tone, review the book, The Law of the Evidence by Council Cornelius Mukiibi.
Otiwa, the Cathedral of the Kingdom of Uganda, and your cabinet which is still there. I think I can see a few of them. Now I think of all the people who are here, the word we introduced, I already say observe. I want to observe the usual still saying this and this. I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, you excuse me for cutting the story short. Observe that this man called Mukiibi is not a young man. Because I went teaching in Kumba University in the year 2007. I found him already teaching there. And he was not teaching in the law school. He was teaching in the School of Business Administration.
man who had trained both as a businessman, as also a lawyer, because he has got a master's of business administration, a master of laws, and other qualifications. I persuaded him to leave the School of Business Administration and concentrate on the School of Law. I'm happy that he accepted to do that. And my work took me in certain stages. All along, he has been on my team. I've been a dean of the School of Law of Mumba, School of Law for 12 years. And this man has been on my team as a member of the board. And as a member of the board, I found him a very progressive person and academic. When I speak of academic, people might say, even a lecturer is academic. Yes, academic. But somebody who looks at stuff and wants to produce it for other people. And Mumba is one of those who have produced, is one of the schools who have produced very brilliant lawyers in this country. And I think part of the work was this man, Kibi. Teaching very important subjects like evidence, the law of evidence, civil procedure, criminal procedure. These are very important for practitioners. And I saw no good reason why I should remove those subjects and give them to others. I made sure he remained the master of those subjects until later I asked him, I said, you have mastered this subject so much, what do you do? And he agreed. The book, which you see is supposed to be here, is not a very simple book. It is academic, but also practical. Those who are in practice will find it very useful book, a very useful book. And I can see quite a number of practicing lawyers, including the cathedral itself. I don't know whether I still practice it, but one thing I observed among lawyers, the lawyers of today, maybe due to internet and other things, there is a problem of reading. If you go to some of our colleagues of the firm, you find very few books. Very, very few books. And I wish these places like the office of Professor Machiminga, who is here with us, you would wonder whether the man is normal because you will find all sorts of books. And he has written. And he has written some. Now, to me, Mukibi is challenging you people in practice and in academics. Produce work for others. Colleagues and those who are coming up in preparation become being formatted to become lawyers. To find what to read. And to read means reading Uganda stuff. I wish there were so many Batumingas and TVs. So this challenge goes to everybody, to every lawyer. The Mpangas who are very famous in practice and so on. You find practitioners also write books. But after having said that, you may not have time when you are practice to write books. But I invite you to read these books. And encourage the youngsters coming after us to read the books. I've been talking with that table about lawyers. When I speak of lawyers, I can see a lot of them saying, now what about us? The standard of lawyers of the Mpangas and the Mayigas and business. The legal profession is a service. You give service, and people appreciate, the public appreciates. What we get as fees is chicken feed. Is nothing. I don't think banker here, council banker, can charge anybody $1 billion shillings. At one time was charging some 600, 800. But gone are the days, because today it is a service. The younger generation who are coming in, they think we are going to make money, make money. No, we are there to make service, to give service. And this service is appreciated by people paying. Give you some money. That's not the price for the service we are giving. So how will lawyers survive? Lawyers survive for certain days. You do very good job, it is appreciated. One time we get $3 billion shillings. We are not going to be poor again. How will they know? They will know that you are doing a good job. You don't have to advertise yourself. Person like Mukiibi, you are going to look at this book, you read it, you read the content, you are going to look for Mukiibi. We don't advertise ourselves. We advertise ourselves in that way. You read the book of Mukiibi, you are going to look for him. Mukiibi, you don't have, Council Mukiibi, you don't have to go in the place, the new vision that you are there, that you are. You used to be Mukiibi and the others, and now you are another name. People will look for you. And therefore, what to use Mukiibi's book to be a challenge all academics and practicing lawyers. The cathedrals have retired, they have written books, they have retired. They did wonderful jobs, the same people as others. But the young ones are relaxing, are keeping quiet. I think it's dangerous today, the profession. This particular book, personally, I gave the forward to the book, and I commend it to universities and institutions of higher learning, not only the law schools, even other institutions, because it's not only for lawyers, but even para-lawyers, people who are not necessarily paralegal, they will find this book very useful. Absolutely useful, and I would invite all of you who have come this evening, don't go without a copy. Let's go with a copy. Even if you are a lawyer, you are not a lawyer, go and give it to your relative and say, read this book. That way you have disseminated the knowledge this young man called Mukiibi has written. By coincidence, this Cornelius Mukiibi is my nephew. Yes, and you are going to say, but he called you as an uncle. He's my nephew. He's a Uganda. We have some Uganda nephews who watch TV. You know Uganda encompasses all tribes in Uganda. So don't be surprised when I say he's my nephew. Now, Mr. Mukiibi, Council Mukiibi, that's the first book. We expect you to write many more, right? Professor Bakiminga. Professor Bakiminga, how many books have you written so far? 17 books. Are you kind of giving me a clap? We shall give many more claps for yet a future date. We have given you this club, and we shall give you more. I'm happy to point at people like Professor Bakiminga. It was not accidental, because he's your teacher, he Uganda than most of us. He was also my teacher, although he was young, and he even supervised my postgraduate studies. And I'm happy, Professor, that you are here. Please encourage more MukiibiCMS to come up, so that whether you like it or not, age will catch up with you. You are not going to write many books. Make sure these young people follow in the footsteps of Mukiibi. I think with those few remarks, I commend this book to the academicians, the practitioners, and everybody. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for Professor Francis Mwenje. Legal profession is not a business, it's a service. I'm learning something new. About lawyers not earning 1 billion, that is another thing I'm learning again. You know, you learn so many things. I wish you were. My friend Abu Kawenja recently joked about Ochitiwa Mpanga's car. And as he was coming in, he threatened legal action. I'm looking for a lawyer. I'm honestly looking for a lawyer. Otherwise, Angambia Yagara sent a nyingi nyo, and I don't think I can raise it. But since my Mkamawani is here, I can say something. Happy Chaze is going to give us another number, after which Mr. Cornelius Mukiibi will come and talk about his book.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cornelius, and the next song is called Yelele Mama. Inabu Zisangabala.
as technology demystifying the whole industry, only 2 people, they do it that way. I don't know whether they will have jobs in the future. I'd like to introduce Mr. Matthias Narianye here and welcome him. Twagala okuwaniza mwami Kasim Kiwanuka Kisozi sebo webale kujja webale ddala. Mr. Adam Kirumira, Mr. Andrew Muguluma, Mr. David Kisitu and wife, thank you so much for being here. Professor David Bachilinga, webale kuba wano Baba, Mr. Chaze Fred of Chaze and Company Advocates. I'll now invite Mr. Cornelius Henry Chivi to come and give a word about this book. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cornelius Henry Chivi. The man of the night.
Thank you very much, Ade. Mr. Nkaga. Mine really is going to be short. Is the thank the chief guest, OHT of TK, Mr. Maida, the judges who are here, the magistrates, OHT of David, OHT of Chris, Matt, Nikki, landlord, my friends who are not lawyers, all lawyers, professor, associate professor, WJ, we call him FPW, Professor Bachilinga, Deputy Director, DPP, Andrew, Sanjay, Francis. Everyone who is here, thank you very much for receiving this occasion. I am really delighted. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the MC. When I told him that I had an event, I told him probably about 24 hours ago. He said, I'll drop everything that I'm doing and I'll come and be the MC at that event. So I request all of you to clap for Mr. I'd also like to exceptionally thank the particular when I asked him to officiate over this. He said, I will. He gave me his dates and I obliged. I would request you to give a clap for him. So once again, I thank you for dropping time, finding time in your busy schedules to be here with me to officiate over this launch of this book. I want to thank the staff of Sheraton for making this place as cordial as it is. I want to thank the staff at CMS and Company Advocates, where I'm the managing partner, for their time and dedication. I want to thank the legal staff at CMS who proofread this book. They read through it over and over and did research. Douglas, Kenneth, James, Asaf, Anita, Helga, thank you very, very much. Even the non-legal, Dorothy did a lot of typing. Susan, thank you very much once again. Hilary Magunda and Tegule Gawaya. Tegule is not here today, but they did the editing and proofreading. Happy and the crew, I want to thank you, Happy and Bigadi, for making the evening very lively. Associate Professor Francis Wazarwa Higwenji, for accepting to read the foreword and the words of encouragement did give me, and also for finding time to come here with your wife to grace this event. Benji is an uncle, mine. I'm from Uganda, but my mother comes from the other side of what? Eri. So, yes. They come from the same village. We are Calumet. Yes, so that's how he is, my uncle. My friends from the private sector, Chairman Sanjay, I call him Chairman, Sanjay Tana. Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Francis Kisrinya from the Private Sector Foundation. We do a lot of work with Private Sector Foundation. Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Norman Kawanda, who did the typesetting of this book. Thank you very, very much. My family, my wife is not here, but my daughter is here. Vanessa, she's out. I don't know whether she's here. My siblings, Hilda, Joseph is not here. Patrick, Fiona, Innocent. Innocent is in the music. So I thank you very much. But you will allow me to once again thank the Katikiro for finding time. I've known the Katikiro for over 20 years. So it's not, people may think that it's a coincidence that he's here. Before I even imagined writing this book, we used to meet at a place called Exat for sauna. I don't know whether very many of you know that place. It used to be in Kadias. So, yes, would be given soup, wrap ourselves, wrap the soup around our waist and chest, and then we would go into the sauna. After that, we sit out. He was much senior to me, and we would sit together in the grass. And he would tell me, Cornelius, and his humility was really humble. He was a senior advocate. He reduced himself to my level. I wasn't anything. But he was humble, and I was humble, and it endeared me to him. And we synced since then up to it. So his being here is not a coincidence, but let me clap for him once again. Yes. Thank you very much. I call him CPM. Yes, because since then back then I used to call him CPM. So when I called Alan and I said, CPM Mwali, he said, hey, that's the Katikiro. Yes. So please, when you're making friendships, make strategic friendships and keep them. One of the reasons why we are here is because we network. You don't know what a person is going to be tomorrow. Keep that relationship. Well, what did I write this book? I wrote this book because as a lecturer, as a professor has said, as an academician, you either publish or you perish. So the challenge was write something, otherwise you perish. That was one of the reasons. The other is the motivation and inspiration. I do jog a lot. Probably a week I jog about 40 kilometers. So whenever I jog, I would meet Justice Musa Sekana. I don't know, he's not here today, but we invited him. So Justice Musa Sekana, I would tell him that I want to write something. He would say, please go ahead. Writing, authoring something is like playing with a pet. It's very, very easy. So he inspired me a lot to sit down and write this piece. The Katikiro himself, whenever he writes his written books and he sends them to me at no cost. That also inspired me a lot. Thank you very much, Watch Team. All the books you've been sending to me, I've been getting the copies, I have them, I read through them. And I ask myself, really, if this man who is very busy can write, why can I not write? So that inspired me to write. The other is the consideration, the attitude and the mindset of the African and the Ugandan. I established that we are our own limitation. We have the thinking that we cannot. Whenever we make a presentation, we keep quoting, and it really poses challenges to me, because I don't want to keep hearing, or I get disturbed keep hearing. In his book, Professor Wolfgang something, and if we can also read. I would wish that they'll say in Wachilinga, in Maiga. Maiga said that this and this and this, so that they quote a Ugandan as an authority. But the limitation is you yourself. And we can do it. We only have to change the mind, the way we think. Because we should have had enough of what the Mzungu has done for us. So when a friend of mine some time back asked me, I told him that I'd written a book, and he asked me, who has published it? I took exception. I told him, look, I'm the one who published the book. Because to publish is to make public. That's it. Make public, make the thing that you want the public to know about it. I don't have to go to Macmillan, Mzungu, and I give him 60% of the proceeds. I can make my own works public. We have to start thinking about the local content that we have. We have the means, and we can do it. There is no reason why we cannot do it. Following up to this, therefore, we have a motto at the Private Sector Foundation, it's called Book. I don't know whether you've heard about it. Build Uganda, buy Uganda. I wrote this book with a local content. I told my research assistants, I told them, look for local decisions. I am going to split the Evidence Act of Uganda, Cap 6. Let's use our decisions. We have judges. Why do we keep quoting Lord Denning, Lord who, Lord this? We want to quote Lord Nicholas Echim. Lord Naliani said this in these decisions. And we use the local decisions here. Because we think that we have good decisions. We have content here. So this is to encourage ourselves that there is a lot that we can do. The amount of opportunities that can be exploited is inexhaustible. It's up to us to exploit them. There is no one who is going to do it for you. The principle these days for the Catholics, those who are Catholics, is in the churches you will see. Please raise up, pick your mat, raise up and walk. When you are leaving this place, take that statement. Pick your mat, raise up and walk. There is no one who is going to do this for you. It is you. And you are your own limitation. You have to change your mindset. The only difference between you and Professor Prose, who has written on evidence, is the color of the skin. But yes, you can. The book, as you see it, is based on the Evidence Act of Uganda with local decisions. It is written in simple English. It is a departure from the lawyers who have been there. You remember how voluminous Obolo Chola used to be. It was the only big book on the law of evidence, the local book. A very complicated book. It takes the texture of a pamphlet. We departed from that style of writing. We wanted to make it simple for the user. It is straightforward. There is no complexity about it. It's unassuming. Yes. It's therefore good for the universities, legal practitioners, scholars, been informed by, I don't know whether Justice Michael is here. Justice Michael wrote a book and he's found it very resourceful and handy in his criminal practice at the High Court. So we highly recommend it for use of the universities. As I stand here, I'm mindful that life requires adaptability. And what do I mean by that? Adaptability, you must be ready to change. So we have made provision. This is a hard copy, but we made provision for an e-book. In this era of online learning or online use of material resources, we made provision for the e-book. It's going to be available very soon on the market. And I spoke to a friend of mine who told me that you could also make a copy, an audio copy, so that someone just listens into the book. So he's taking a flight, he listens without reading. We're also going to make provision for that. We've started on it so that you can just listen to the content. That's being adaptable. The other consideration, I listen to you a lot, and your words are inspiring, and they encourage a person to work. The other consideration is the uniqueness of the product. If you want to have something that is taken by a consumer, it has to be unique. You must ask yourself a question always: what is different from the next product that I'm going to put on the market, which the consumer will ask, I shall take this product and not this. It has to be unique. Probably, if you are in our practice of the law, service, the way you offer the service, the way you style your office. Now, the uniqueness of this book was that there was no book by a local author in the law of evidence in Uganda. That's the difference. So I sat down and looked at what had been written. It was, Professor had written a lot about trusts, Professor Rachimini. He had written a lot about contract. So I said, I'm not going to go there. Nelson has written, I think, about Mr. Nelson Nerima. Those who don't know him, is the one seated next to Professor. Nelson had written about, I think, companies and insolvency. I said, no. So I said, let me go into an area where no one has yet written. There's no local author. And then I chose evidence. Fortunately, I'd been taking the course, and so the resource materials were readily available. So I put together the materials and produced this book. So there's not so much that the consumer will say, let me choose between evidence written by Mukiibi, evidence written by X, because there's no other book. In contrast, where someone will say, there's a book by David Mpanga on contract. There's a book by Charles Peter Maiga on contract. So which one shall I take? The more voluminous one, the more complicated one? So you must also learn that you need to put a product or a service which is unique, in which the market will ask, why do I make a preference for this product and not the other? So that also informed the decision to write the law of evidence. I recall speaking to a colleague, that's what I told you, about publishing. I should also mention that and underline the ability to exploit opportunities. I wrote this book during COVID lockdown. The Katikiro is the one who always says that Don't grieve. Don't sit down on your abilities. Now, during the COVID lockdown, very many people sat back. During the COVID lockdown, I didn't sit back. I said, let me take late nights and write this book. It was an opportunity for me to exploit. So, during the time of challenges, I saw the silver lining and I exploited it. That is why this book was able to come onto the market. It's now on the shelves being sold. So always learn to take challenges. Don't avoid them. They'll always be with us. But exploit the silver lining within the challenges. Have the eye to see. Have the eye to see. Those people who succeed, the Bill Gates of this world, the Sudiris of this world, the Sanjays of this world, they see the opportunity where you don't see it. And they exploit it. And they are out with the challenges. They swim with the tide. They say, there is the opportunity. So you must learn to see, cultivate, and harness the eye to see that opportunity. And you exploit it. Anyhow, that's how the product came onto the market. It is available for sale outside there. It's also available in the very many bookshops, Aristo Booklets, Mokono Bookshop, Uganda Bookshop. We also sell it at our offices. If you want it, we shall deliver it. And we really encourage universities. The Law Development Center, we invited the director of the Law Development Center, I don't see Nigel, to include this very resourceful book in their reading lists. Encourage them to buy copies. We've given complimentary copies to Makerere University, so that they can encourage it to do their reading lists and they teach, so they can teach the scholars. Once again, I thank you very much for the time you spent today, this evening, to be here to grace the event for the launch of this book. I'm delighted, I'm excited, and I'm humbled. Once again, thank you very much. I want to thank the landlord. Many of you don't know the landlord. The landlord, I was speaking with that he's called landlord because he was one of the first people to build a commercial property within the city. So they would say, hey, Daniel, landlord. Yes, he's, I've been at Chiso's house, he's called Shwaka. I've been at Chiso's house for the last probably 20 years. Yes, I've been at it. One of the other people who nurtured me a lot was a gentleman who gave me business, Mr. Andrew Kurma. I don't know, he's been around. Andrew, he used to be in he's asked me to do golf, but I don't know how to use the stick to hit balls. So, thank you very much, Nicholas, thank you, Matt, David. Thank you very much, Chris. This is the second launch I am with Mr. David Panga. I also, so Mr. David Panga's being here is also not a coincidence. We met in court, and I was on the opposite side, and he was representing Coca-Cola many years ago. I don't know whether you remember it here. So I was with Katenda at St. Pegwalene. And in our discussions, I also found him to be a very humble man. And humility, I think, for me, is a killer for me. He's a very nice man. Thank you very much for listening this evening. Once again, I want to thank also the Kumba University people for honoring this invitation. Thank you very much. Tell the university boss that some good spirit has bought books, and we shall deliver them to the university. Once again, enjoy the evening. You have very good music. Thank you very, very much.
omukulu kirala kimukubire ku ngalo creativity of grace. Tuyenze nnyo, tuyenze again. A round of applause for Council Mr. Cornelius Chili. Thank you very much, Mr. Cornelius Chili, for that beautiful speech. I'd also like to welcome Councillor Chelsea James, Councillor Simon Kalinde, and Councillor Richard Bwaya. Thank you so much for being here. You used to take chai in Kajansi. I dare the Katikiro to take the chai over today. I've been a you know that just a lot of things you remember. I heard that the guy is like this with fixed, his fixed clench piece. He never opens it. That's what the ladies say. When you hear the Oligate Sajache Kagyans, you are there like that. You don't open your fist, really give them something. Prayers and your prayers again. It's my humble duty now to invite OHT Wampanga to give his speech, and in turn, invite the Katikiro to launch the book.
OHT Katikiro, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually not my speech, it's the speech of OHT Chris Wanika, the Attorney General of Uganda, who is present but not feeling very well, and opted to send me his junior to read his speech. But I thought that I would put in a couple of remarks in true lawyer style, OHT Katikiro. A lawyer cannot leave an allegation unrebutted. It is true that my car is old, ladies and gentlemen, but the MC laughed very much. They laughed at the car. I think it was the laughter which was defamatory, for which I am going to instruct Council Cornelius Mukiibi to represent me, and I hope there will be no other lawyer who will join in that laughter. It is 10 years old and I've driven it since it was 13 kilometers on the clock. OHT Katikiro, I now turn to the official speech. With all protocol observed, my colleagues, members of the legal profession, law teachers, scholars, eminent writers, distinguished guests who responded to this invitation to witness the launch of the law of evidence. My task tonight is to invite our dear chief guest, the Katikiro of Uganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, who is a seasoned lawyer and advocate of the Supreme Court and all courts of the Judicature of Uganda of long standing. Counsel Charles Peter Mayiga is a senior lawyer and founder of Wule and Mayiga Advocates, which is a prominent old law firm. In English, it might be hard to understand. Apart from being a seasoned lawyer and leader, Katikiro is an ardent reader and writer of books who inspires and encourages other writers. And I'm sure Council Cornelius Mukiibi, who is launching his book tonight, acknowledges that. We thank you, Katikiro, for encouraging writers and promoting the culture of reading in the country. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate Council Cornelius for this good piece of work. When Cornelius published his book, I was one of the early birds to purchase 3 copies, and I kept one and gave 2 copies to my sons at law school. I therefore personally appreciate the good work, and my children have given me very positive feedback about the piece of work written by Counsel Cornelius Henry Mukiibi with which the Katikiro is going to launch tonight. Which the Katikiro, allow me to insert, just in case television only cut away, I am reading the speech of Oishtiwa. Wanika, my wife, should not worry that I have some children who are reading law books. My first reading of the work enriched and refreshed my law of evidence as counsel chief while dealing with and analyzing the different key topics like admissibility of evidence, burden and standard of proof, documentary evidence, admissions and confessions, witnesses and other matters. He uses recent decisions and experiences from Ugandan courts in both civil and criminal cases to illustrate his expositions. This alone helps the Uganda law student, practicing advocate, judicial officer, or paralegals who are handling or dealing with the law of evidence in Uganda to get a quick and easy learning and understanding of the concepts and principles of the law of evidence in Uganda in the home setting. The presentation is simple and user-friendly and makes reading and using the book very attractive. Those who went to law school in the 1980s or earlier remember the intimidating treaties like tips on evidence, notes, which gave beginners a very rough time. There were very few local writers at the time. If I recall well, we had the late James Obola Chola in his 1972 publication in pamphlet form under the title The East Africa Law of Evidence. We had another book by the late Francis Ayume, largely dealing with criminal procedures and evidence. So Mr. Mukiibi has added a lot of value to existing literature, and we commend him for doing so. Before I invite the Katikiro, I request all you guests and members of the public to spend just 100,000 shillings and obtain a copy of this wonderful book while stocks last. It will be very useful, as I have shared with you, and it's important to support our local writers, especially when they make difficult subjects easy for us. In our daily lives, we find ourselves involved in matters of evidence, say commissions of inquiry or parliamentary committees where we may appear. We need to acquire the basic knowledge of this law, and this book helps even the layman. I thank you all for attending this launch, and hereby invite the Katikiro of Uganda to address this gathering and launch the law and evidence in Uganda by Cornelius Henry Mukiibi Esquire. Signed, Christopher Rwanda, President of Uganda.
I'm very pleased to greet all of you tonight. And I'm happy to see eminent lawyers and professors. I haven't seen Professor Bachiminga in a long time. And even Professor Gwenje, I haven't seen them in a long time. It's now very nice to see them. And judicial officers and practitioners, scholars, even politicians. Sanjay Tana, I went to his factory and he gave me a significant offer in Tororo. It's nice to see him here. And of course, the landlord of Cornelius, whose wife is my sister. And, yes. I'm very happy to see all of you, Nelson and Matthias, Ayanya. You know, they say that higher you go, the lonelier it gets. You don't get the meaning until you're in some prominent place and you see people. It
just happens like that. And when you chance upon them, it warms the heart. So it's a good evening for me. I'm glad to officiate at the launch of this book, written by my friend and colleague in the profession. I had forgotten that we used to meet at Kajansi at Sajja. And I don't know how much of a senior I am to you, but definitely I am, because I became an advocate in 1992. And the law firm that Wechitiwa Mpanga talked about was started on the 1st of March 1994. So in the next few days, we are going to be, I think, 29 years. And yeah. But I'm on sabbatical for 10 years. For reason of being in this office which I occupy. But the law firm goes on, and my partner Francis Bull and others soldier on. Anyone who has authored a book will tell you that writing is a back-breaking exercise. Yet, writing for academic or professional purposes is even more intricate. I have written 5 books. None of them is about the law. And I don't know whether I'm qualified to write about the law. I'm averagely trained, 1 degree as a lawyer and just a postgraduate diploma. These people have got PhDs and all these things. Maybe I shouldn't look at it that way, listening to Cornelius' speech. But I've written 5 books and I'm writing more. But an academic or professional book is more intricate because the content must not only be the subject of academic truths, but must also be professionally useful. So Cornelius Henry MukiibiCMS must have broken his back to produce this book. We thank you very much. The challenge of the contemporary profession in the developing world, but Uganda in particular, is that the source of the materials that are needed in the carrying out of the tasks in the different fields are from without, like many of you have said. They are from without. Very few Ugandans in the legal field have authored texts which can be used in the professional work of a lawyer. As we all know, the work of a lawyer is to enable those who come to him or her to understand the law, to enable them get the protection that the law accords, and to enable them apply the law in their undertakings. So when you are doing this work in the local setting, like Cornelius said, you're going to rely on texts that have been authored by probably members of the Commonwealth, whose legal regimes apply common law principles, but most of whom are not Ugandans. So the major advantage of having a local author, writing about a vital aspect of the law, like the law of evidence, is that local circumstances or local content, as Professor Wendy said, gets incorporated in our jurisprudence. So we should be grateful to this local author here for his initiative. I'm sure our jurisprudence is going to grow because of the work you've undertaken in this book. We are told that the light of justice is the balance of the law. And the balance of the law can only be experienced by the weight of evidence that can be adduced in any situation, be it in courts of law, in pre-trial proceedings, in tribunals, or any form of quasi-judicial proceedings. Many times, as most lawyers here know, justice is not dispensed because the evidence that has been tendered did not effectively relate to the matter at hand. Or maybe the evidence could not be interpreted appropriately by the presiding judicial or other officers. It is therefore important that the teaching of this subject of the law and its application before courts of law or tribunals is simplified by relying on cases heard and decided by our courts. Indeed, we do not need to quote Lord Denning all the time. But then, how are you going to quote anyone Ugandan when they haven't written anything? That is the question. The Bachibingas are very few. We all know that. And of course, it isn't easy to write anything. It isn't easy, and nobody should expect, especially young lawyers here, you're not going to get it easy writing a book, a text. But then, you get no accolades for doing something simple. They say, if you want simple things, you go and sell ice cream. I don't even know that it's very easy selling ice cream. Yeah, you must employ some tactics to sell ice cream effectively. So there is nothing simple for which you're going to be praised, for which, you know, your name is going to be cast in a rock, in a stone somewhere. Different concepts and principles are best understood within the local context. And the best way to consider evidence that is tendered is to relate it to our own circumstances, even if the related legal principles remain applicable. The rule of law in any country is premised on the dispensation of justice. Justice is the light that burns and enables us to see and enjoy our rights and freedoms. It is the rights and freedoms that enable us to live in peace and harmony, and thus lead to social and economic advancement. When our rights and freedoms are infringed, then the light of justice is dimmed. A situation that dims the light of justice can only be reversed with evidence as we struggle for our legal protection in near all situations where the rule of law is the sine qua non of social and economic well-being of the citizens. I therefore believe that the students of law, legal practitioners, and judicial officers will find this book, The Law of Evidence in Uganda, useful since it touches a vital aspect of the law and of the profession, and especially so since the author is a son of the soil. There are reporters here who Oweekitiibwa Mpanga is scared about. Believes that his wife is going to hear him say his sons are studying law. Actually, for a moment, I myself had forgotten that he was reading Oweekitiibwa Mpaga's speech. And I was asking myself, has he got sons I've never known about? Because I know his children. And they are not yet in law school. But then in Uganda we say, Omusajja tabalirwa baana. When they ask you how many kids have you got, you say, Omusajja tabalirwa baana. I think they coined that because, you know, there are circumstances where you would have kids who you haven't introduced to your family. And can be dangerous if it's only known you've got 3, when there are 4 others. So the simple way out is to say Omusajja tabalirwa baana. So I was thinking, maybe this young man, this young brother of mine. But because of these guys, I'm going to say a few words in 2 minutes in Uganda so that they've got something to say in the news that is going to be cast in Uganda. Okusomoozebwa kwe tulina abakola emirimu egy'ekikugu naddala mu Uganda nti bye tweyambisa okukola emirimu egyo tebyawandiikibwa bantu baffe. kababe bannamateeka, kababe abantu abakola emirimu emirala egy'ekikugu. Era abakugu bangi oba bannamateeka oba basawo oba bakikula ki beeyambisa ebitabo ebyawandikibwa abantu abatali bannayuganda. Erimu ku matabi amakulu ennyo mu mateeka yettabi erikwata ku bujulizi, kubanga buli nsonga ebeerawo walina okubaawo obujulizi. Kaakati ebitabo ebyeyambisibwa ebijulizibwa bannamateeka nga obujulizi buweebwa mu kkooti byawandiikibwa bagwira, si bannayuganda. N'omulamuzi yeesigama ku ebyo ebimubuulirwa ebijjiddwa mu bitabo by'abagwira n'asala omusango oba ogusinze oba gukusinze. Kyabulabe twetaaga abawandiisi abawandiika nga beesigamya ku mbeera zaffe. Yagenda n'omuzimbi kubanga tasobola gendayo kugula bizimbisibwa tabitegeera. N'olwekyo omukyala abadde alimba, ndowooza abalooya bali wano ensala eyo mwagisoma. N'olwekyo tateekeddwa kugabana nyumba mu makkati. Omulamuzi yeesigama ku mbeera yaffe eyawano, ku bujulizi omukyala bwe yali aleese, naawe ensala ye. N'olwekyo bannamateeka n'abantu abakugu bonna abalala tubawa amagezi bawandiika ebitabo. Kijja kutuyamba okuggusa emirimu gyaffe n'okuginyiriza. N'abalamuzi bennyini n'abakola emirimu egyo banguyirwe okuwa ensala entuufu. N'olwekyo muzzukulu wandugwa Cornelius Mukiibi, mwebaza nnyo okutuwandikira ekitabo ekikwata ku mpa y'obujulizi oba mu kkooti oba mu mbeera endala obujulizi bwe buweerwa. I once again thank the author for inviting me to officiate at the launch of the book, and do hope that all of us here and those not here will get themselves copies that will assist them as they go about their work. 100,000 shillings. A book with such content is almost free. Like Professor Wende said, what is the worth of the work you do for your client? When you ask for, I don't know how much H.T. Wampang asks, he told us he billed 1 billion shillings. But a book of this content to cost 100,000 shillings is almost free. And we should go and buy it. You're going to have a podcast as we fly, we listen, or the e-books. I don't like those podcasts and e-books. Actually, podcasts for me send me to sleep. I want to get the hard copy in my hands. I love the smell of paper. A book smells nice, for me at least. I want to read it. And underline somewhere. Of course, my kids tell me, you can't even do that on an e-book. I know you can do those things, but after a while, I go and get back the book and I ask myself, why did I underline here? I love to do that. So people go and buy the book. the hard copy. You may buy the e-book in time when it comes. But it's good to have it on your shelves, especially for lawyers, but also for non-lawyers, because like he says, the language is simple. You also learn some legal principles of the law of evidence, even if you're not a lawyer. It is not entirely rocket science. I want to appreciate Chaze and Igade. The music is fabulous. Thank you very much. With those words, Cornelius Henry MukiibiCMS book, The Law of Evidence in Uganda, is hereby launched. So where do I sign? Now, the book is launched.
Kindly ask ekitiibwa sigala katono for a photo moment. Bukitibwa Wanika, bukitibwa Mpanga, Professor Bachilinga, Professor Mwenje is coming for a photo moment.
Hey, sorry.
Wait, everybody should smile fast. Do it again.
Kindly ask Bakula Mukampuni ya Mukiibi Cornelius Mukiibi, come for this photo moment with the Katikiro. The rest can come up here. After that, we'll have the immediate family, brothers and sisters of our Mommy Cornelius MukiibiCMS for this photo moment. Immediate family, Mommy Cornelius MukiibiCMS, brothers and sisters, and Cornelius' daughter, wherever you are. Family ya Mukiibi. Ekitibwa Mpanga obadde onsudde. And finally, we'll have friends. Mikwano Cornelius MukiibiCMS for this photo moment. Friends. Lawyers MukiibiCMS. Come, let's do this. The legal fraternity, let's have this. The others can step up behind here. After the photo moment, we'll be kindly inviting you for drinks and snacks in the foyer. Departure will be at leisure. Chaze is coming back with Migade to entertain us, and then you can pick a drink from the foyer. Michael, happy several Kaman Katikilo on a solo Chifana Ninaye. Migaduni. I'd like to thank you very much for honoring this invite. Let's interact, time to network. We can pick drinks and snacks from the foyer, and then we can come back as Chaze entertains us. some snacks. It's time for snacks.